What are you cooking tonight?
We're going to have lemon sole with some foraged mushrooms from one of the doctors at my work, Dr. Kieran Gullett. Foraged these winter chanterelles, he's dried them. I'm looking really forward to these because they've got a really fine mushroomy smell. You know the smell? And we're going to do it, believe it or not, we're going to do this in a red wine sauce with some tiger prawns as well. So today's going to be a bit of a lesson. I'm going to show you how to fillet a flatfish. I've got two beautiful lemon soles in here, and you're going to do one, but we won't do it in camera. So yeah.
What's that you're drinking?
Well, this is Siren Brewery's Kings and Daughters Oat on Oat Double IPA, and I've never tried it before. Oh, that's a good one.
Good sign.
Oh, that's lovely. Would you like a taste? Oh. So a couple of lessons today. I'm going to show you how to fillet a lemon sole, but also how to prepare broad beans. So,
oh wait, it's too quick. Come on.
Sorry, hate when you say that. We're going to prepare some broad beans. I'm a bit not used to this camera. I've got some salted water in there. I'm going to put on to boil. Quite simple, but a bit faffy. So you get a broad bean, you want to pop the end of it, get your thumb in there. It's not like peas, you don't get very much of them in here. So you just get your thumbnail in, and you peel this hard skin off.
Why do you have to peel them?
You don't have to, it's just this outer peel is a bit bitter and tough, and I don't think it digests very well. I could be speaking rubbish.
No, I think you're right.
It's not often I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong when I'm right. Sometimes I'm right when I'm wrong. Yeah, so.
They look like little embryos.
Oh, lovely. Well, what are you having for supper tonight, love? Fetus. Brilliant. Fetus was tomorrow night. And we're going to have a little bit of broccoli with that as well. So, you'll hear that song there. It's Bright Blue Eyes by PAULO. It's quite apt because one of the first things you need to look for when picking fresh fish is bright eyes. So this fish was landed yesterday by my supplier, Mr. David McDonald at Davlin Seafood up in Fraserburgh. I will put a link in the comments, but you'll see. You want to always wash fish before you prep it. It's just good practice.
In case it's dirty.
Well, it's not just that. Fish has got a natural slime on it. A bit like a vagina. Smells like a vagina as well. And it should have nice, clear, bright eyes like that. Not too sunken. Well, that's that pan heating up. So, okay. So in here I've got some tatties. What I growed in the garden in a pot.
Oh.
So I'm just cooking them gently.
Shall we show them our tomato?
What, the tomato? No, on you go. The lonely tomato.
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
So yeah. You'll notice here, there's a line down this fish, right? So that is the ribs. So in a round fish, in the mackerel video, the fish would be that round. So you need a flexible knife. I've found my flexible fillet knife, and it's quite nice and sharp. Meanwhile, I'm going to quickly blanch these broad beans.
What about that one?
Alright, Susan. Right, so you want to draw a straight line, your knife in. Now this has been about, a good 15 years since I've done this, but we're going to give it a bash anyway. So
You're cutting it right through?
Well, it won't cut through the bone, you see. So, and then this is why you need a flexible knife. And you get underneath. Whoop. So we'll start with this side because that was the side I went to. And literally, you want to right underneath. See, if you come in about this side, see I can get right along like this. Oh, what's its puddings? So there's one fillet. Back round the other side to the other fillet. So this side of the bone. Get as much meat as possible, or fish for you pescatarians out there who can't eat meat. But eat fish. That's one side, and the other. So the white side's slightly tougher.
Because this is where the fish, oh god, really quite tough. This is where the fish would skip along the bottom of the sea. So you might slightly tougher knife for that. And then again, let it go right along the bones, because you've got a flexible knife. Sorry, it's the first thing in the morning, isn't it? Very nice. I'm not going to nurse on this, but it just shows you, if you don't practice. You can feed two people on one fish. We're going there. Okay. This skirt part you don't have to worry about because that's fins.
So there we have, you've got fillets off of there. It's 4 small fillets, that's the row. You could eat this if you really wanted to, we're not going to. So that's your fillets. Well, I'll get tidied up a bit and we'll come back and show you the next process. Well, I think you did very well on your first attempt at filleting
Thanks.
a fish. How do you think it was? That's mine. That's yours. You've got it off. You've not left any meat. A little bit there. You've not left any flesh, really. Done a good job. So the reason we've kept these, so Fish bones are great for making fish stock, for soup, if you want to do that sort of thing. Probably want to get rid of the roe, unless you want to eat sole roe. Yeah. You just put them straight into the freezer bag and into the freezer. And next thing I'm going to show you is how to skin the fish. Right, so the knife has been given a wash. I'm not bothered drying it. I'm going to sharpen it again because you've got a nice good sharp knife for skinning the fish. You also want to make sure that you give it a dry, because you can just see that. I'll show you again. When you sharpen a knife, you're leaving some residue and filings, and you can't really see it. Anyway, so skinning fish is quite a simple task. As you can see, so the actual meat in this sole is quite small. There were a little fish, but beautiful, beautifully fresh. So to get in a boot. So get a knife in at the end, and you just keep the knife flat and wiggle the skin. It's one method, and we can tidy this up afterwards. So.
Oh. Shocker, eh?
It's something to do with the best way of getting chewing gum out your hair.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really can't tell that.
Is it like
we'll just stop there.
sticking your head in a freezer? Must be something.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, let's just say it's that. We'll put this in the freezer now. Move back. Right, so get your skinned fillets. Come in about, I'll show you. You want to trim this up. So you could make this more squared off if you wanted to, but I'm not going to bother. These are just the wee skirts that are on the fins. So you could make this really pretty if we wanted to. Ain't no point. So,
could you eat those bits raw, like sushi?
You can eat anything raw. Sometimes you can only eat it once though.
I just want to make sure that all is done. Yep, it's not bad. All that trimmage.
Right, so it's been quite a lot of faff, but this has been a lesson on prepping fish. I'm a bit rusty myself, if I'm being honest, but the next stage is actually cooking it. So I've got my garlic, my onions, my mushrooms. My broccoli, my broad beans are cooked and refreshed, my tatties are cooked and cooled. My oven's up at 200 degrees Celsius. This is cooled down, but I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to tidy up and actually show you how easy the rest of this is, and it's quite simple, okay? Right, so once you've got it prepped, tatties I've cut in half. I've got my blanched veg in here. So we've got a pan on a medium-high heat. We test. Wet your finger. Sizzles, doesn't burn, it's hot enough. So I'm going to put a small amount of olive oil. It's a pity I didn't do this the other day when I bit my tongue. It just sounded like Jamie Oliver. Do a bit of olive oil. Right, so you want to put a little bit of olive oil in, a wee chunk of butter. Okay, a wee chunk, quite a big chunk. So I've got diced red onion, garlic and a little bit of thyme in here. So thyme's not something that's normally associated with delicate fish, like lemon salt. This is crappy cooking and I don't care. So I've got a couple of cartouches there for a good reason, which you'll see soon. So we want to sweat this onion down. So it becomes translucent, and then these dried mushrooms, give them a good squeeze, put them into the sauce. Put the sauce, put it in the pan even. Basically this is a sauce that we're making. Good bit of pepper. And we've got a beautiful red wine, Chateau de Tetre 2011. We're going to put in about half a glass. You're going to let that evaporate. While it's evaporating, just check that there's no grit in the bottom of here. Because when you cook with dried mushrooms, the grit will sink to the bottom and you rehydrate them. Just fine and handy. Lovely. A little bit more salt. Now, you want to add some of this mushroom liquor. Be careful not to tip it all in, because you will get the grit in, and pour the rest of it out. So, you want to reduce this to a simmer for 2-3 minutes, and while you're doing it, while that's simmering, so I've already peeled my prawns, you want to roll your sole into paupiettes, which is as simple as putting it around your finger like that, and season them. Okay, we'll come back. So as you can see, this is reduced by quite a bit. Then you could have it until it's almost evaporated, because there will be some juices coming out of the fish. But I ain't going to do that. I'm going to take this off the heat. Got the prawns in. So these are just tiger prawns. Got these from some crazy Belgian lady.
And that's all that's to be said on
all
that.
That's to be said about that. So the paupiettes, we're going to cook them all because why not?
Why do you fold them up like that and do them like that?
It gives a bit of a meatier texture, you know, you get a bigger texture. And I can get them in the pan. Right, so quick dip to the hands. So season the salt. Oh, just for the record, I put a small pinch of sugar into that, in with the wine, cartouche number 1 is going on there. This is going in the top of the oven at 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to heat up this pan just for reheating the spuds and the green beans. We'll come back when I'm ready to do that. Right. So my veggies are cooked, stroke heated through the way I want them. Bowls are warm. You take the fash out of the oven, leave that ring on because I will reduce this sauce from the fash. It's been about 10 minutes, I would say, approximately. Yeah. As you can see, there's a lot more liquid has formed since. So, we dish up the warm veg. This doesn't have to be pretty because this is crappy cooking. Not worrying about coriander or basil or any of these things. Just a nice, easy, simple palette knife. Remember, the handle's hot. So, should be 4 fillets each.
Until the fish is cooked, when it's cooked, it's kind of literally will just fall away. Put these prawns on the top. I know prawns and mushrooms aren't what one might call a classic. This isn't classic cooking, this is crappy. Crappy it shall be.
This isn't something I've ever made before, so I'll put that on full black, which it is. You want to reduce it down. If you're worried about it getting cold, give it a couple of cartouches, stick them on. Let that reduce down until you get a thickish consistency. It's up to yourself. If you want to add some butter to thicken it, by all means. If you don't, just reduce it a bit more. We'll be back. Right, so you can see this is reduced in consistency by quite a lot. So you're going to take it off the heat. Cartouches to one side. Now, I would normally use a block of butter, but that block of butter was sitting out for quite some time and it's gotten soft. So I've got this butter as well, slightly salted. I'm going to add a small squeeze of lemon just to sharpen it up. Simply just going to Now this process of putting cold butter into sauce is known as Monty au beurre, which, unless my basic German is wrong, oh wait a minute, it's French, is to mount with butter. And you don't do this on the heat, you add it off the heat. And as you can see, it looks creamy. So you can get a creamy taste without adding a load of cream, basically. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some parsley to this. I'd say parsley is probably the only soft herb you want to add. If you wanted some bolder flavours, you could add some fresh thyme or fresh rosemary. Now, there we go. An unusual combination, this most certainly is. Some might even say crappy. Now, it don't look pretty, but I can assure you it might even taste good. Oh God. So oven off, stove off. I might have the wine with which we are eating. So happy crappy cooking. Oh yeah, that's right, it's lemon sole with veg and red wine and foraged mushrooms.
Fancy.
Happy crappy cooking.